Bit more Priest, I think, today. Now, as you may have noticed the last time that we played, I was level 16, and now I'm level 15, and I have 2 more or 3 more stars than I did before. There actually was a match in between the last match we played and this one where I did win, actually with the Priest. And unfortunately, you guys didn't get to see it because it accidentally got cut off halfway through, and I only had half a video, and it wasn't pretty, so we're going to just skip that one. It was just one match, no big deal. I don't expect you guys to see every match that I'm going to be playing this whole time around. I'm sure I'll play a couple that are going to be off camera. And I'm also not sure that you'd even expect me to play every single game on camera. So we are going to play one with the Priest on camera, though. This is the first one that I've done on camera with him. Hopefully we win again. I actually really wish that the last game we had been able to work out, because it was a really cool game. I won in kind of an epic fashion. It went down to the last turn. I had like 8 health left and he had 0, and I was using his cards against him, and it was actually really cool.
Versus Gul'dan.
And we might actually get a bit of a rematch here, because I'm pretty sure I was also playing a Warlock last time, which means that we have a little bit of a semi-rematch. So I'm going to be okay with what we have right now in regards to our starting hand here. And the really cool thing I like about the Priest is that it's a little more play it by ear. The Thoughtsteal card that we have right over here is actually going to be kind of a key card for us. And the whole reason behind that is because Thoughtsteal will actually allow me to use cards that he's not going to expect me to have.
Job's done.
They're going to be, any cards from his deck. And if we get unlucky, of course, that could be horrible. But it also could be extremely lucky, because we could get something that he wouldn't expect, like a Jiraxis at the very end of the game or something like that. So we're going to hope that that works out for us. I think last time I ended up getting like one of those like Demon Lord kind of guys. I forget, Doombringer or something like that, where I actually got the Doomguard, I think, because he has the charge ability, and I used him at a really appropriate time. So it is good to have. So going forward here, I can either start with a Loot Hoarder or the Mad Bomber. And I think I'm going to save the Mad Bomber for now, and I'm going to go with the Loot Hoarder. And hopefully that works out for us. If he attacks me directly, then so be it. I can attack him right there. But if he decides to go for the Loot Hoarder, then they both die, so everybody wins. Alright, so I suppose I should have seen that coming to a degree, but at the very least he got a draw out of it, but so didn't I. And I think I'm going to summon the Mad Bomber this time.
Job's done.
Alright, so that obviously didn't work out like I'd wanted to. I was kind of hoping to get him twice and kill him, which would have been a little lucky, granted, but definitely better than hitting myself twice, which kind of sucked. And it's not looking good for me already. So we're going to summon Loot Hoarder. And we'll heal ourselves for 2 to kind of, if not stop the bleeding, just kind of slow it a little bit. It's not looking good for us so far. He's been able to have some sort of removal every time I played a card. So doesn't bode well for us over the course of the game here.
So many possibilities.
And that life tap ability, which he's only now just using for the first time, it does definitely lend to a kind of annoying way where he's able to always keep card advantage regardless of how many cards he throws out, and usually doesn't last to the end of the game. So what can I do about it? Pretty much nothing.
Consider.
So we're going to try Thoughtsteal, I think. I think that's going to be the best play now that we have the means to do so. Not horrible. We're going to do this. Get another draw. And now I think we're going to use Voidwalker and Power Word Shield to not only get a draw,
Job's done.
but make him a 1/5 with Taunt, which is going to give us at least a little bit of protection here, and a decent hand with which I can summon Twilight Drake. So I'm pretty happy with the way this is going now. It took a while to get to this point, but now he has to really think a little bit in order to decide what he wants to do. And Gadgets and Auctioneer was actually a pretty good card for us to draw. Alright, so I'm only going to have this for one more turn here, which is unfortunate, but not that crazy. And I have 6 mana to burn. So I'm thinking, might as well summon Twilight Drake, why not? It might be best to Shadow Word Pain him because he has 4 health, which is a real pain in the asshole. And a single attack to him is pretty much the best we're going to come up with 6 mana. But we have a 4/8 on the board now, which is going to be pretty impressive. And I really should be explaining some of these cards a little better. I realize that my explanations have been pretty minimal. And I realize that that's not really acceptable. So from now on, I'm going to try to make a more concerted effort to actually do something with my commentary to the point that you actually understand the moves that I'm making. Now, of course, the obvious issue here is the fact that Illidan Stormrage is a 7/5. I'm a 4/8. I can't actually kill him with what I've got on the board. I'm considering doing something that's maybe a little risky, but I'm kind of on the fence to whether it's the best move. So this could end very poorly. I could play him, but then if he doesn't hit Illidan, he only hits him, then I'm really screwing myself badly. So I think I'm going to actually play Defender of Argus, but I'll have 3 more mana to play with. So depending on what I want to do here, it's going to be, it's going to determine how I'm going to proceed. So actually, I'm going to do it. It's not ideal, but it's going to give me enough to kill Illidan. And he's still a 5/4 with Taunt, which is really not the worst thing in the entire world. And we took care of Illidan, which means that he wasted his legendary for nothing. So essentially, anytime I could take out an Illidan with a Twilight Drake, I feel like I've accomplished something in the match. So even if I lose this match, at least I have that, move to my name here. So I have to assume that that's a little bit frustrating for him. I mean, I have to imagine that he's not sitting there extremely happy about the fact that I killed Illidan. And he's going to use a summoning portal, which is kind of a pain in the ass as well. So, kind of a weird situation here. But I'm thinking I'm going to summon the Gadgets and Auctioneer just to get a 4/4 on the board. Not the worst thing in the entire world. And I'm going to use Shadow Word Pain, which is going to give me a draw. I'm going to pick up a second Abomination, which is not horrible. He's never going to be able to use a summoning portal. I'll attack for 2. And we're slowly whittling him down while keeping a pretty decent hand, so I think we're playing fairly smart. Abomination is a card that I want to use, but I also don't want to start dealing 2 damage to my own creatures. And I have to admit it's getting kind of annoying that he keeps having one of those abilities ready and waiting for him to kill one of my 4 damage minions, but thus is life. Okay. So now we don't really have much that we can actually play here, so I think we're going to finally pull the trigger on the Abomination. And I think I'm going to heal him back up and just simply attack with him
Into the breach!
and save this guy for now, because I don't want to start doing damage to only my own minions, which seems kind of stupid. So we're going to leave it as so, and he can deal with my 4/4 Abomination. If he has another 4 damage Soulfire or something right now, then that's what he has. If he wants to keep using them up on my Abominations, then so be it. But I really, I need to start making some plays here and start putting some guys on the board. We have a Mind Control ready to go next turn, so we can actually, pull a big monster like a Ragnaros or something out that will have the ability to steal it. I want to save this card for the opportune time when he puts like his big gun out on the board. That being said, we have Shadow Madness, which may or may not be useful at this point in the game, and 2 Holy Novas, which I assume will be useful. So I'm going to have to use those at the appropriate times. And we'll just have a quick drink
I got the best
while we're waiting
deals
for him to move.
anywhere.
My shield for Argus!
Okay, so that move feels a little bit like desperation to me. It seems like a move that he may be a little wary moving forward here. He's not really sure what he's doing. So we're actually going to go ahead and steal the 2/3 Argus Defender for 1 turn,
To the breach!
which I'll then use to sacrifice himself against the Gadgets and Auctioneer. So now we're stuck with a 2/3, 2 damage, and a Holy Nova. So what I'm thinking is that we
To the
can
breach!
attack with him. We can then attack with him,
Into the breach!
and we can summon another Abomination. Now, I'm thinking about that in hindsight. I probably should have just used the Abomination to begin with and maybe saved myself the 4-mana card. But then again, the only way for me to actually kill his minion was to use it, so it's kind of like an extremely expensive Shadow Word Death. Another Summoning Portal.
Behold the might of
And he's going to use it to
Stormwind.
summon Stormwind Champion, which is what it is, I suppose. So, I don't think Stormwind Champion is the guy that I want to use that ability on. So we're going to go ahead and see what we can do to kill him without actually mind controlling him. So this is going to give me +2. Alright, so it's quite possible that no matter what we do here, it may end up killing me. The only thing I can think of is possibly throwing out Mad Bomber. But either way, he's still going to have Stormwind Champion. So I'm actually going to use Mind Control on him. It's not really what I want to use him on. But that being said,
Well,
I also can't really think of a better move at this point for him either. So I'm going to go ahead and keep the board control and simply kill him. And hopefully we can use Stormwind Champion to our advantage.
Do I have to?
Alright, so in what is probably the most annoying thing I've seen in a long time, he has summoned Ragnaros right after me stealing Stormwind Champion, which is exactly what I didn't want to see. So now we get to the point where we have to ask ourselves what we want to do to counter this. What I'm thinking is attack with him. That's going to bring him down to an 8/4. I can then use Holy Smite and Holy Nova to heal him back up and kill him. So that's what we're going to do. Kill that guy. At that point, I can use Holy Nova.
well played.
And we're finally going to summon this bad boy here. I'll accept it.
The Alliance!
And now we are pretty close to lethal. We have 4 damage in our hands, which I could have used this last turn, but I kind of want to save it in case he summons something that we actually might need. We have Power Word Shield, and a good chance at actually taking down the wind here.
For Najatar.
I've got the beast in my sights.
So that's going to be it for him. He essentially didn't play anything that could possibly
For the
result
Alliance!
in a win, so that's going to be it, and that's the game. So, yeah, nothing he can do to stop the lethal. Overall, I think we made some pretty good moves. That's going to take us into level 14. And get us, I believe, our 4th Priest win. So rather than watch another episode with the priest or another game with the priest, I'm going to play one more game, but this time I'm going to use the paladin one more time. Hopefully we have just as much success this time with the paladin as we did last time. I find the paladin a little more fun to play. The priest is a little more play it by ear because the cards you're stealing from the other guy and the mind controls and trying to use cards at the right time. This paladin deck is just plain old simple. You can't do anything to me. Watch as I fill the board with Tyrion Ford Ring and Ragnaros and so on and so forth until you can't deal with me anymore. Which I like that kind of beatdown control combination, which I'm going to try out here again and see if we can pull off another win.
Your soul shall be mine.
I will fight with honor.
Okay, so the handle is a little heavy, so I'm going to see if I can get rid of most of it and possibly come up with some lower cards. Not really. I do have Aldor Peacekeeper, but I think I'm going to be relying on some of these silver-handed fruits at the beginning here. Not a great opening card to see. Not horrible, but not great. So I'm thinking we pass this turn and just accept the 3 damage as the price of doing business and see what we can do next turn, possibly summoning Aldor Peacekeeper to just make this imp a 1/2 and therefore fairly ineffective at, you know, dishing out damage. And that's going to make our lives a little bit more complicated. Well then, so this is the tiresome part about the beginning of the game, is when you can summon things like that, it makes it very annoying to deal with.
Follow the rules.
Job's done.
So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, make him a 1/2. This guy's probably going to make him a 2/2 next turn, but I'm going to have to find a way to kill him at that point. Alright, so
you need a blessing?
his deck must be a rush deck because he's, you know, chock full of 1 mana minions, which I have like almost none of. And this is on the verge of getting very tiresome very fast if he starts bunching these minions together. So therein lies the possibility of what I should do next. Attacking him isn't going to do me all that much good. He's just still going to be a 1/1. I could attack him, but then I'll die. So which means I really only have the option of attacking him, which admittedly, you know, is going to only take off 1 and the least dangerous minion off the table. But as a result of that, he's not going to be able to do anything to me. So we're going to do that, and we're going to summon the Pyromancer, because next turn I can potentially do 3 damage to all of the other enemies, which may be something that we might need. So I kind of want to see how he responds to this, and then go forward from there. So now he has a choice of either attacking me directly or taking out my minions. He chooses the minions, which is okay for me. So this may be a little bit premature, but I'm just going to go ahead and consecrate. It seems too good to pass up to literally take out every minion he's put down over the last 5 turns. And now it's 21-20. I have a minion advantage and a card advantage, and we're moving into the mid game, which is a good place to be if you're me. So I can accept that as the price of doing business. So when you summon him, he actually destroys one of your mana crystals, which doesn't seem like a very good plan to me, but he seems to be a fairly popular card, so there must be some merit in him. Next turn I could summon Black Knight, but that's kind of a, you know, a day late and a dollar short, to be completely honest. I think what I may do, yeah, no matter which way I look at this, it's kind of a pain in the dingle. I can attack him, but then I still have to kill myself to kill him. Next turn I have the ability to kill him with this, which seems like the best possible plan. I could silence him, but then he no longer has taunt, so this wouldn't work on him anymore. But then I could sacrifice to kill this. This is one of the moves that you just don't want to be in. Okay, so I think this is what we're gonna do.
Last warning. Reporting for duty.
So it may not be the best move in the whole world, and I was on the fence. The other move I was going to do was to use the True Silver Champion and kill the Fell Guard.
Dare summon me.
And he is just going for broke now. He has no intention at all of letting me live past this next couple turns here. So what can we do to avoid this fate? I don't want to take 8 damage next turn. That much is for damn certain.
Let me think.
But that's going to be, I think 5 damage is the best I can get away with here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we're going
For
to
justice.
attack him, which is going to give me 2 back, and I'm going to lose 3, which means I'm going to be down to 12.
To battle.
We're going to do 2 damage to him. And we're going to go ahead and summon another minion.
Reporting for duty.
And he's going to be down to 5 now. Which may be a little premature, but I kind of want to bank the damage on the Doom Guard in case I need it.
The light protects me.
Not that worried about the Divine Shield Squire. He's kind of more of a pain in the ass. So I have to imagine this guy's feeling pretty good about himself at the moment. Because, let's face it, he's sitting here with 3 minions. I have nothing, and I have 7 health left. He probably thinks he is good to go. He's not, of course. We still have a couple of cards left to play.
To battle.
We're going to go ahead and take care of him. And now we're down to 5 health, which I don't like to be, especially since I'm kind of wasting mana. But what I'm going to do next turn is probably summon him or lay on hands for 8 health. Either way, yeah, it's probably going to be to summon Guardian of Kings so I can get some creatures on the board here, but unless he pulls his Soulfire, I probably can at least make a chance at coming back here. But I suppose it depends on what he plays. Power Overwhelming. Okay. So that was a good draw for him. Kind of annoying because I was about 1 health away, 1 turn away from starting to make a nice comeback. But that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. So we're going to take a quick loss. We're not going to make the Paladin win quest on this one. But that's okay.